Once upon a time, in a small village tucked away among the tall mountains of the east, there lived a 21-year-old young man named Wang. Though he seemed ordinary, his mind was always in turmoil. Each day, thoughts flooded in and drifted away, one after another. He often grew sad when dwelling on the past and worried endlessly about a future that had not yet arrived. Wang's mind was like a storm. He could never find calm, and even sleep no longer came easily to him. Over time, he began to forget what it felt like to smile. His friends would often see him sitting quietly for hours, his eyes tired and empty, as if the light of youth had already faded away. One day, Wang heard about a wise old man who lived in a distant village on a hilltop. People whispered that he had once been a renowned master of meditation. After letting go of all worldly burdens, he chose to leave behind the noise of the world and settle in a quiet place, living in harmony with nature. There, he had guided countless people to overcome their struggles and rediscover the stillness within their hearts. What earned him the deepest respect, however, was not his reputation, but his compassion. The old man believed that within every person lay a pure soul, an inner awakening already present. It was only hidden, covered by the dust of worries and troubles. Hearing this, a spark of hope stirred in Wang's heart. He thought to himself, perhaps he can help me find peace. So Wang set out on his journey. For many long days he traveled, crossing forests and mountains, following winding, narrow paths. At times he felt utterly exhausted, but his longing to find peace within his heart gave him the strength to carry on. At last, after all his hardships, Wang reached the village on the hill. In the center of the village, he saw a small, humble house surrounded by lush green trees. On the porch sat an old man with snow-white hair, resting in perfect stillness. His eyes were gently closed, and his face radiated a serene calm, as if nothing in the world could ever disturb him. Wang stepped forward with trembling steps and bowed respectfully. "Sir, my mind is so restless. All day long, I dwell on the past and worry about the future. I no longer know what peace feels like. Can you help me?" The old man slowly opened. His gaze was gentle, and his calm smile seemed to warm Wang's heart. With a slight nod, he said softly, "So you wish for peace? Very well. But first you must do one small thing for me." The old man stood up, went into the house, and returned with an old cup. He poured water into it until it was filled to the very brim, so full that the slightest shake would cause it to spill. Handing the cup to Wang, he said, "Carry this cup of water from here to the end of the village and back. But remember, not a single drop must be spilled." Wang was surprised. He thought to himself, such a simple task, why would it matter so much? Still, perhaps this is the test he has set for me. Wang carefully received the cup, holding it gently with both hands, and began to walk. The village road was not easy. People bustled about, some hurrying past, children laughing and playing, dogs barking loudly, shopkeepers calling out to invite customers. Everything was noisy and full of life, yet Wang paid no attention. His eyes stayed fixed on the cup of water. Step by step, he moved slowly and cautiously, knowing that even the smallest slip would cause the water to spill. The villagers noticed him as he passed by. Some smiled, others shook their heads, while children giggled and followed behind. But no one disturbed him, for they understood that Wang was learning something deeply important. At last, after a long while, Wang returned to the small house. Overjoyed, he said, "Sir, I've done it. Not a single drop of water was spilled." The old man nodded with a gentle smile. Then he asked, "Very good. But tell me on your way. Did you see the children playing by the road?" Wang hesitated and shook his head. "I didn't see them." The old man continued, "Then did you hear the dogs barking, or the vendors calling out to their customers?" Again, Wang replied, "No, I didn't hear anything. My mind was only fixed on the cup of water." Hearing this, the old man smiled kindly and said, "That is the lesson. Peace has always been within you, you just never realized it. When your mind is rooted in the present, focused on one thing alone, there is no room for fear, no room for worry, nor for restless thoughts. You will not be sad over the past, nor afraid of the future. True peace comes when you learn to live fully in this very moment. Wang bowed his head in gratitude, then quietly took his leave. On the road back, the village was just the mammoth laughter of children, the barking of dogs, the calls of the vendors. But this time, Wang smiled. He was no longer the restless young man he once had been. It changed. For now he understood. Peace is not found somewhere far away. It lies within us when we learn to keep our minds in the present. And dear friends, the lesson from this story is simple. If we can truly live in the present moment, unshaken by the past or the future, there will always be peace and stillness within us.